You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. So please don't take my sunshine away.
Raising mom. Raising mom means to me, the first thing that comes to my mind would have to be a child changing how their mother thinks in certain ways. As to when they do things and such, it changes the mother and it helps build the mother stronger and enlightens them a lot.
I think that young parents, especially part of the Young Parents program, do have a stigma. And I felt this recently, not even being a young parent yet, but on the verge of becoming a young parent. I've had people approach me and say, "Oh, are you ready for this?" Or, "Oh, it must have been an accident." And these kind of very condescending comments. And I really feel like this is something in my life that is a gift, and I'm lucky to have the opportunity to become a parent. And no, I'm not ready, but is anybody ever ready, really? And I resent being stigmatized as a young parent, whereas if I was maybe wealthier or owned my own house, for example, I wouldn't be a victim of this stigma.
I find once I became a mom that I attracted a lot of attention, like people just staring at me, like whether it was good or bad, like it didn't make me feel comfortable, like people always staring at me. So in my painting I put two butterflies, like a big one and a small one, like the mom and the baby, and they're going through the forest and there's all these eyes spying out of them. And that was like just a little bit like how I felt about people staring, because that's a big issue with me. After the exhibition, I found a huge difference in my perception of how I felt when people stared at me, and it just made me feel a lot better. Like once I realized it's not always a bad thing when somebody's staring at you.
People that weren't necessarily friends at the beginning, through the art project, we were able to bring different people together and start talking about things that we wouldn't normally share with each other. I saw a lot of people digging into their past and sharing things with the group, and I saw those same people crying, laughing. I saw those same people getting angry, and I've seen people have tantrums, and I've also seen a lot of good things, and I've seen a lot of people be happy with their work and proud of themselves and proud of the group.
And letting people see that we are more than just young moms trying to raise our kids. We're bigger, we're better than that. We have a lot of talents. We're bright people, and we're going to be part of the future. And raising mom, it's elevating ourselves as mothers.
As young mothers, we've lost touch of ourselves. Our sense of self has no worth, can't take a breath, no time to reflect. Always surrounded by negative thoughts, saying no, don't, can't, stop. Breathe in, breathe out. Relax and tap into the collective knowing. Close your eyes, sense, feel, roam into dark places, secret spaces. Trust intuition. Nourish your source. Stop all the questions. It is time for us to walk our course.
Like everyone was around her, and there's kids, and it just seemed, it was all quiet for a moment, and it just seemed like that was, I don't know, that was probably the best moment I saw from the whole project. theory and there's practice, and I failed. And in theory, it works out well when you have people say, okay, everyone's going to work together and we're going to do it and have this one united vision. But then in practice, the vision is fractured and there's like people drifting off in the lunchroom and someone didn't come that week. And it's kind of hard to have a united vision with such a, I don't know, rotating group that doesn't come always so frequently. Like there's the 4 people that always come. Then you have people coming in and they don't know what's going on, so it's hard to keep the unity.
Jasmine and I began as YPP participants ourselves. We initiated the Community Arts Project after we had learned the therapeutic benefits of our own creative processes after we had had children, and we wanted to share the possibilities of the creative process with the rest of the group. It was difficult for me without Jasmine when she decided not to continue because she had become such a crutch for me. I felt like the crutch was kicked out from under me and suddenly I had to walk on my own 2 feet, and I was really wobbly at first, and I have yet to walk a straight line without fumbling. But I understood her reasons. Because of the length of the project, there have been all different levels of engagement. Our process didn't necessarily permit a continuum. Our greatest challenge the first year was keeping new participants. We had some participants come in hopeful, I'm sure, of the support and resources that they might receive from the program, and they were ultimately bombarded with an obviously tightly knit group. We had a plan, we were working on huge canvases, opening up symbolically, and excited about sharing. Understandably, this was very intimidating to new participants. We had to ask ourselves whose needs were being met and whose were not. Our process had united the group, but had managed to exclude those in most need of the services that the program provided. We knew that if we were to continue our project, we'd have to permit newcomers to integrate easily into the process, but we wanted to still involve the same level of self-growth and communication that we'd already established. So after much discussion, the group decided on creating scrapbooks about their past, presents, and hopes for the future.
We bonded more last year than we did this year. As this year, we're working on something personal to us, so we were able to do, we could have collected all our stuff we needed at home and put it together on our own and such, whereas last year we had to work as a team and we needed instructions like very closely for some things that we were doing, so it made us get very close to each other.
I like this one, eh?
The true art. The real creation.
That's so sorry. I didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't. I was just doing my paper. I didn't think it was going to affect you. Also, well, watch what you're fucking doing. I am. I've been all over the place. Making a mess? Oh, man.
It's okay. It's art, right?
Heart to heart, years in the making until death. That was a haiku.
Did you do one, Diana?
Yeah, I did. Well, let's hear Diana's.
Lovers at first, my knees buckle still. The challenge of chess and tea, you used to come to me. Forests from trees, never before fallen. Now, years of silence.
Some of the questions I asked for myself were important questions. And it's, I think, most women and most mothers, the kind of questions that you ask, it's objectives that I would have for the parents and sometimes maybe neglect for myself is, you know, am I doing all of those things? Am I nurturing myself enough? Am I taking enough time for myself? And do I have a life other than a mother as well? And maybe even a YPP coordinator of what is deeper. Also, what I really learned this year is to let go and focus on my own, you know, priorities instead. I think that was actually my biggest accomplishment.
I am not sure what I am getting into.
happiness, effaced, without 1,000 faces, one all in common. We are women. I have multiple faces, several bodies, other lives, and one of each within my sacred womb. The rebirth of life, a new generation to come. You put my pieces back together. Umbilical attaches for our lives.
We had originally designed for photography and Photoshop to have a large place in our scrapbooks. We learned quickly that we just didn't have the resources. Having been so proactive in searching out our venue for the Raising Mom Expo, we were surprised to have Miriam Verberg from the Atwater Library approach us about a digital literacy project that she was coordinating. So here was an excellent opportunity for our community project to collaborate with another community arts project.
I needed a stable home. I received a family. I received unconditional love. I received stability. I believed people are no good. I believed there was no good in life. I believed there were more hate than love in this world.
Historically, women in the art world have been divided due to 19th century philosophy in that women were connected with the natural domain and not the creative domain. And yet, it's in our respective nature to create beyond just procreation. So here we've created a platform for women's voices to be heard, and recognizing the value in our stories is what feminism in art is all about. Voices heard are the roots of all change. In this sense, I feel that the personal does become political.
I don't think my scrapbook can achieve anything politically. Socially, I think it can show other people what my life has been since I was born, what I'm going through now, and what I hope my future to be with all the different sections that we're doing through the scrapbook.
I wouldn't really choose an art project as a way of bonding with people by my own will. I've found that I was able to express myself on topics that are really difficult to talk about through the artwork and the different projects that we did. We've done so many different types of art for this project that I was always able to take very sensitive things that were happening in my life right now and kind of express that to the group without ever having to really say it in words. And I think this is super valuable, and it's really given me a good idea of why art is such a valuable tool to use. And I never knew that before.
I wanted to be a model. I wanted to help to the kids. I wanted a good husband. I needed 3 children. I needed a good family. I needed a good job. I received a good life. I received a good family. I received a good husband. I believed in God. I believed in the future. I believed in me.
I don't know, I can't. Oh, jeez. It's a lot harder with the cameras on.
Do you have a baby shower set up?
I don't have any girlfriends.
Yes, you do. Answer. Wrong answer.
Now I know my ABCs. Next time won't you sing?
Very good. How about you, Riley?
It's something for me to look back on, hopefully in 45 years from now, and to see how good looking I was. That's it.